I love the ocean. This band's just amazing. This is just the instrumental version. I have it on just to have some background tracks while I'm doing my crazy rant. Today's discussion is just going to be the past. I mean, if you think about the past, it's one of those things where, like, sometimes you wish you can go back. But then whenever you think about going back, you're like, well, if I went back and knew everything I knew right now at this particular moment, then it kind of wouldn't work out because you wouldn't be going through the motions to have those memories in the first place because you'd already know, which means you would change the course of what you're missing because you wouldn't be doing the same stuff. So it's one of those things where you can't really change it. So the idea is to not waste your now moment trying to reminisce over it because you're not going to make current memories. You're just going to have memories of memories, if that makes any sense. And that's kind of what I want to talk about. I do these rants every once in a while. It's been a while since I've done one, but it's more or less therapeutical for me because take what I just said and I'll apply it to the future. So I'm doing a now moment, which hopefully this will be used for me to look back on and to do two things. Number one, laugh at it. And number two, miss it, be nostalgic over it. So it's a double-edged sword because you don't know the future and maybe my life now would be better than it will be later, but that's backtracking though, isn't it? But hey, you never know. I mean, there was times in my life where I was actually doing a lot better than I am now. So it's ebbs and flows. It's valleys and what's the other word? I don't know. Basically, there's peaks and valleys. That's what it is. So life isn't a sprint. It's a marathon. And the idea is to just be steady because slow and steady wins the race. And it's not a race against other people. It's a race against yourself in a sense. I mean, we're all social creatures and we're all competing against one another. But the thing is, we have to ultimately make ourselves a better version of ourselves every moment, every single day that we wake up. And again, it's hard because of those peaks and valleys. But really, I kind of also want to talk about just trust and issues and lust and hate and turmoil and rage and jealousy and envy and strife and depression and anxiety. So I've been going through a lot of that stuff. If I didn't, I wouldn't have been able to rehearse that quickly because it's just stuff I think of constantly. I'm just so tired of the world we live in. But I mean, the good book tells us, that things aren't meant to be good. Things are meant to only get worse. Things aren't meant to... I mean, in certain ways, things get better because more people wake up. But with that knowledge, it makes you worse because you realize, wow, I just swallowed that red pill and I'm awake. I'm not the blue pill society anymore. I'm currently awakened from that slumber. I'm unplugged from the matrix. But then what? Because the majority of the world is still asleep. And what's scary is the ones that are awake that just don't care and they live like they're asleep because they just follow the status quo every single day, just going to their job, thinking about getting their promotion, making money, trying to survive, and then really they just get their jollies off, pun intended and no pun intended, just to have that instant gratification in life, going to the clubs, going to the parties, going to the bars, going to the movies, maybe not movies so much anymore because of COVID, but you get what I'm saying. People just want to progress and have their level of success be based on the masses, the majority, and what they feel is successful. And really, it's chasing the wrong stuff. See, we prioritize life in ways that is detrimental to our spiritual growth. And what makes it hard is for people that don't even believe in that stuff. So they're kind of just aimlessly wandering around, just living off a feeling. And the thing is even science will prove that we second guess our own selves and our own thoughts and feelings to where we can't even look ourselves in a mirror and be 100% full of integrity towards our own self, let alone somebody else. So that's just one aspect of it. So being able to trust yourself isn't an easy task because one day you might be feeling a certain way, the next day you're feeling something different, so you may have your choice dictated based on the way you feel at that particular point in time. Kind of like a cop. You get pulled over, the cop's wife cheated on him the night before. He's going to take out that rage on him because he has a power trip and ego, and he may not just let you off with a warning, but he may not only give you a ticket but make something up to just take it out on you because he doesn't like you. It's insane. And the same thing with your job. Well, he was going to give you that promotion, but now he's in a bad mood, which made him go to his senses or lack thereof to give you a different outcome based off of his walk of life or her walk of life. So it's hard because people are supposed to put their feelings to the side in the workforce, leave it at the door is what people would, commonly refer to as, but people don't. They might even have the intention of doing that. Like they're at the door, they're open. Okay, I'm gonna leave this here. They go in, they see somebody, it just kind of goes right through the door, right into your body, and you're like, dang, I'm just angry. And it might just happen because like you're making a burrito at Chipotle or something for a customer, and somebody comes in that you don't like, and you're like, oh, I don't want to see this person. And then you have this choice: should I spit in their food? Should I be polite? What should I do? And it's so petty, but at the same time, it's so serious because we're letting other people, based off past events, dictate our thoughts, our feelings, our actions, and our behavior. But ultimately, it's still up to you to choose what you're going to do. But in the spur of the moment, many people just choose wrong. They don't choose right. Now, the question is, what is wrong and what's right? Well, again, the biblical principles. If there was no God, then morals wouldn't really exist because it would take an external being out there to dictate the rules. And then you have people that say, well, I don't need God to tell me what's right and wrong. Well, you kind of do, because that would be your opinion. That would be simply your opinion, because there's certain parts of the world that have things that are legal that over here in America isn't legal. Does that make it right because they're allowed to do it because it's legal? And on the flip side, cigarettes are legal, but they're not good for you, right? Think about that. So morality and legality are two different things. So I already made a video that's basically talking about this stuff. If everybody followed all 10 commandments, how the world would be. But the fall of Lucifer, the fall of humanity, the rise of the serpent, the rise of deception and deceit. And people say, oh, well, it's religion's fault for the world being like this. But if you think about it, if everyone followed God, then none of this would be going on, because nobody would be cheating on each other or lying or stealing from each other or hating each other or hurting each other or harming each other or killing each other, because it wouldn't happen, because thou shalt not kill, you wouldn't murder, thou shalt not commit adultery, there'd be no STDs. But I'm not going to get into that because I already did another video. Although no warning is too strong whenever your eternal spirit is at stake. Yes, I said a lot, but there's more to it. So basically, I'm trying to live my life in a way that is inspirational or influential to people, and it's not really that easy, because everything I just said, I'm also guilty of for the most part. Not everything, don't get it twisted, but a lot of those things I'm guilty of, and a lot of it has to do with resentment towards humanity. A lot of it has to do with my own personal insecurities and struggles and ego and just my personal walk of life and everything I'm going through. And it just makes it so much harder for me to actually grasp the concept of reality in certain ways. And I just kind of let the enemy win, because I let the influence from the enemy get into my mind, and I believe the lies. And then I get out of those senses and I start to backtrack from it, but then I feel guilty because I let myself give in to the temptations, and it's just rough. And I made a similar video also, my last real rant one, like maybe a month or so ago, where I talked about hypocrisy. I don't know if you checked it out, but the truth is I'm still struggling. Like, it's gotten better, I do things less, but it's not good enough. If you have a cup of water and then another cup of water, identical, but like a micro fraction of urine was in one that you knew of. So you knew one was pure and one wasn't, but it had like a little micro speck. If you had the choice to drink which one would you drink? Your brain's going to go towards the one that doesn't have any of the urination in there. Even if it's just a little, a billionth parts per unit or whatever, like the smallest. I mean, why not simply drink the one that just doesn't have it at all? So again, just even the littlest speck of sin or evil or lust in your heart, it's considered unclean, because you're either clean or unclean. That's it. So me, I'm unclean, period. It's the Bible says to keep your garments clean, to be ready for anything. And we just let ourselves get caught up and we let ourselves slip. So the next topic, although I keep spiraling back to certain topics, is why the heck am I making this video? Because I just have a lot on my mind, and I'm just thinking about stuff like comment sections. I mean, I'm a small channel, 800 and something subs, whatever, but I feed into the trolls, and I feed into people's comments that oppose my viewpoint. And I realize I shouldn't do that. But even realizing it, I still do it. I still comment back. I'll still say things that may be deemed as hurtful, but as a way to kind of throw it back at them. And you shouldn't fight fire with fire, because it's just like adding gasoline to a fire. Just boom, it's combustion, and it's definitely not gonna put the fire out. I should throw water on it. Like, all right, bro, good luck. Love you. May Jesus Christ bless you. I'm gonna pray for you. Obviously you're hurting because you're saying these negative things, but you don't deserve a free rental space in my mind. Is how I should be. But no, I'm like, I'll nitpick. I'll like do my homework on people, and I'll just type up I'll make whole videos about people. Like, and I think I justify it by saying, well, people will watch that, maybe they'll change their ways, but they don't. They'll just continue to it's just back and forth. So this is why I'm making a video too, because it's given me like a legit reminder that I acknowledged it and that I'm aware of it. And hopefully just seeing the thumbnail or reading the title is gonna help me remember having this conversation to you guys and to myself, to maybe think twice about doing it. And you should do that too. You should make your own video. You should make your own testimony. You should tell your story. You should share your story to people. That way it can help people relate to similar things, and to just show to people that, hey, I'm not alone. I'm going through the same thing you are, or similar stuff, or I've been through what you're going through now, or what you're going through now is what I've been through. Man. But no, this is just part 1, 12 minutes. If people see a 20-minute video, 40-minute video, they may not even click on it. Bella, could you go, please? Go upstairs. Thank you. So if I keep it short, maybe someone will actually sit there and watch it, rather than saying, well, this is 40 minutes, let me click off. So that being said, part 1 is done. Hopefully you enjoy the ocean. Part 2 is going to have a different instrumental track section, because what's cool about this band, with this particular album, they have 2 CDs. One CD is all these songs you've just kind of heard with vocals, well, except with the exception of like actual instrumentals that are also on here. But number 2 is just a straight instrumental, which is this one, Pelagial, the ocean. And I've seen them live. All right, now I'm just, ADD in it. So as always, may the Lord Jesus Christ bless you. Have a good day. Hopefully I taught you something. Hopefully whatever you're going through, you fix in your life and you get through it. Post a comment down below with whatever the heck you want to say that's going to make me snap at you or agree with you. Peace.